Now it's my honor to introduce our guest speaker today, Elizabeth Landowski, the owner of Face Factory.
Yes, you did. We are good. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As he said, my name is Elizabeth Landowski, and I am honored to be here. I know it was a last minute thing, but that's how God works in this life, and my life is in the midst of some chaos, but so it's the perfect time to speak. So when I was first asked, it was 5:30 yesterday. But I had spoke with Stacy about possibly sharing at some point in my life, not today. But like I said, that's how God works. And it really couldn't have come in a more chaotic time. The truth is, my life does not feel very okay right now. And yet I am okay. I am. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. The art of being okay. Not when everything is perfect, but especially when it's not. So just yesterday morning, I had what I call a car cry. The kind I'm sitting behind the wheel. Just bawling, tears streaming down my face, life swirling, no tissues anywhere. It was a moment. I was overwhelmed. I was really unraveling from the last few days. It kind of hit me on Saturday, some stuff. And it just made me stop. I don't cry very often, and I was weeping. But what I do in those moments when everything is loud and crazy, I let myself cry, and then I go quiet. That's really like my happy place, the space where I feel most protected. It's going inside and just sitting there with myself. Like a meditation and a way that I am really able to hear my higher power speak. So I closed my eyes and I asked the universe for a sign, something to ground me and something to remind me that I'm on the right path, even if I can't see it clearly right now. So I leave now. I was parked before, but now I'm leaving 5 minutes later. And I'm driving, and lo and behold, there's a dump truck, getting on the freeway. And dump trucks often have some really cool stuff on them. And this one happened to have the verse, Joshua 1:9 on the back. I was not familiar with what that particular verse was, but I looked it up right away. And it said, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." That was my first sign. I mean, it was right there, and it was what I needed at that very moment. And it reminded me of what I have to learn again and again, is that being okay isn't something that happens to us. It's not delivered in a box with a bow. And it's something that we give ourselves permission, we allow ourselves to settle into. We don't have to fix everything. We don't have to fake anything. We don't have to figure it all out. We can just let ourselves be okay right now, exactly as we are. So I'm just going to rewind a little, tell you about my story. So my story with mental health started around the age of 13. I had suicidal issues, and I realized I really wasn't okay. But unfortunately, my parents just didn't take that seriously at that time. And so it was pretty much just brushed under the rug and, continue on. So I learned to mask it. For me, that was smiling, performing, pretending, and just moving on. So by the time I got to college, I became an expert in trying to feel okay. But feeling okay at that time looked like a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, parties, perfectionism, and people pleasing. Really anything that I could control on the outside to avoid the chaos crumbling inside. I became a full-time student in the art of appearing fine. I'm fine. When I was 22, my mom died. In the middle of college, I had no emotional tools, no coping skills, no spiritual foundation to hold me. So I turned to substances. And at that time, I wanted to party because I didn't know how to grieve. I didn't know what I was feeling. I just knew I didn't want to feel it. Years passed. I became a mother of 2 beautiful kids. And then at 36, my dad died. I had spent over 2 decades running from my emotions, completely disconnected from any sense of spirituality or self-worth. And when he passed, I fell apart. I wasn't even trying to be okay anymore. I was just trying to escape. I found myself in a dark, numb place where I really couldn't get through a single day without alcohol or drugs. But yet in that darkness, there was something in me whispering, "You're not done yet." That whisper led me to Rogers. And I didn't know at the time, but walking through those doors, I can still picture it today, before the remodel, would become the turning point of my life. It was through the spiritual care program at Rogers that something inside me finally shifted. I reconnected with something I had long lost, my sense of spirituality and my sense of self. For the first time, I allowed myself to connect with that higher power in a way that felt safe, honest, and personal. No labels, no pressure, no shame, just an invitation to start where I was. That staff didn't try to fix me. They listened, they witnessed. And through the scripture, a variety of spiritual practices, stillness, and a simple presence, they reminded me, you're worthy of love, even in your most broken state. They introduced me to meditation, intention seeking, breath work, journaling. They gave me a place to be still. And in that stillness, I learned something life-changing, the difference between reacting out of fear and responding with faith. I stopped running and I started remembering that I wasn't alone, that I didn't need to be perfect to be loved, that my pain wasn't a punishment, it was becoming. The spiritual care planted something deep within me. And that's not just a belief in God, but a belief I could become someone new. Someone peaceful, someone present, someone purposeful. And even though life would still throw me curveballs, a lot of them, a seed had been planted and a sense of purpose began to grow. I had no roadmap, no grand plan, really just a huge, courageous leap of faith and a fierce desire to stay sober and a quiet hope that if I helped others, it might help me be okay too. That seed eventually became something I never expected. That's Faith Factory, a business born from my pain and my healing and my purpose. It started as a tiny idea, and it's become a community, a mission, dedicated to supporting people walking through mental health and addiction recovery, just like I had. So when I talk about the art of being okay, it's not a place to arrive at. It's a practice, a process. It's a messy, beautiful work of art. It's imagination, expression, and the courage to pick up the brush or the microphone, even when your hands are shaking. My own art of being okay is painted with a deep faith in myself and who I am. It's living with the best intentions to always do the next right thing. It's being authentic and rigorously honest. It's practicing radical acceptance, very radical, and staying open to what's possible even when I couldn't see it. Today, my spirituality isn't about rules or rituals. It's about relationship. I believe my higher power is always communicating with me. Sometimes through numbers, sometimes through the push and pull of the planets, and sometimes through scripture like Joshua 1:9 or Proverbs 3:5. And sometimes through dump trucks. That's the art of being okay. You don't have to understand it all. You just have to be open and present to your life. That ongoing conversation with the divine in my car, it helps me stay grounded. It reminds me that I'm never alone. It's okay to be both in a work of progress and a masterpiece. So if you're in a messy chapter right now, if you're unsure, unsteady, or overwhelmed, you don't have to be great, you don't have to be fixed, and you don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing, strong, and courageous, to believe in your okayness, to take the next step, to tell the truth, and to trust the journey when you can't see the whole map. That, to me, is the art of being okay. Thank you.